friends. For those who don't know me, my name is Miss Jordan and I am the Youth Education Coordinator at MOA. Thank you so much for joining MOA's virtual Mini Masters program. I am so happy that we're able to make this program work during this time. In keeping with our traditional Mini Masters program, today we're going to start off with an art discussion, follow with a story, and conclude with an art project. In this first video, we will have both the art discussion and the story. And on the website, there will be a second video link, and that will have the art project in it. In addition, there will be a downloadable PDF file, and that will have the supply list in it for the art project. So, let's start off with our art discussion. Today, I'm so excited to talk about one of our pieces in our collection, and that piece is... So, the artwork we'll be talking about is Wilhem Knapp's Untitled work, but it's often called City Scene with Tracks. Now, I do want to point out something slightly ironic. Right now, there is a train going by just about a block away from my apartment. So if you hear train noises in the background, that is not planned, but it is a great coincidence. So on to this painting. Like I said, it's by Wilhem Knapp. Often known, he was known as Willie. And in this painting, we see a scene of something outside. This sort of painting is called a landscape. What other things do we see in this painting? We might see buildings, we see clouds, and we see train tracks. What colors do you notice? I notice a lot of primary colors, which are red, yellow, and blue. I see blue in both the sky and in some buildings. I see red in buildings and a little bit in the ground. And I see yellow in buildings and in the clouds. The way Wilhem Knapp paints has a lot of movement in his brushstrokes. I love that there is an energy and an excitement behind them. I often am reminded of a daydream when I look at this painting. I think about someplace I might be going on vacation or where I could be traveling to. What do you think? What does it make you feel? So now you might be asking, how could this relate to our story? So let's read our story and then come back to our painting to see if we can make any connections. So today we're going to be reading I Can Read, Pete the Cat's Train Trip by James Dean. Again, this book is by James Dean, but it is through HarperCollins Publishing Company. For those who are curious about that copyright information and more about HarperCollins Publishing Company, there's a full page at the end of the story. So if you're looking for that information, wait till the end. In addition, I do want to point out that we are able to read this story through Amazon's free Kindle download program. And all of the stories that we will be reading through Virtual Mini Masters will be placed on that free ebook list. So now on to our story. Pete the cat is going to visit his grandma. He gets to ride on a train. Pete's mom buys 3 tickets. She gives one to Pete and one to his brother Bob. Pete looks up at the big board. Our train is leaving at 10 o'clock, he says. A train speeds by. That's a cargo train, Bob tells Pete. Pete's train has arrived. All aboard, calls the conductor. Pete's mom finds 3 seats. I can't wait to see Grandma, says Bob. I can't wait to explore the train, says Pete. The conductor comes to collect the tickets. Pete hands over his. I love trains, says Pete. I'll show you around, says the conductor. Pete follows the conductor from car to car as the floor rumbles under his feet. Wow, Pete says when they get to the caboose. We're going over a bridge. Pete sees his mom and Bob. They're at a snack bar. I got this for you, says Bob. Pete follows the conductor. He goes to the front of the train. Come in, says the engineer. Wow, Pete says. The engineer shows him the engine. The engineer shows Pete the train's brakes. There's a tunnel up ahead. As they go through the tunnel, Pete gets to honk the horn. Toot toot! Everything is light again. Thanks for showing me around, Pete says. On his way back to his seat, Pete stops and makes new friends. They live in different towns. They are getting off at different stops. Pete plays games. A little kid wears his hat. Pete sings a song. What a groovy ride. We get off at the next stop, says Pete's mom. Toot, toot. Pete looks out the window and sees Grandma. Pete is the first one off the train. Pete's grandma gives him a big hug. It feels good. Pete loves riding the train, but he loves his grandma even more. The end. So now again, if you guys are interested in any of that copyright information, it is here on this page. Now let's go back to our painting and talk and see if we can make any more connections between the two. Okay, so now when Pete was on the train and he was looking outside, he saw a bridge, he saw water, he saw a tunnel. He might not have seen buildings, but let's imagine if we were on a train. What would we see? Maybe in a town nearby, Wisconsin, we might see this image. We might be seeing power lines, utility poles, people walking by, a building. So there's a lot we can think about. Another thing about this painting that I really like to talk about are all the shapes that we can see in it. Let's take a second and see what shapes we can find. I see a triangle. I see rectangles. I see circles and the people. I see squares. And I see a lot of lines. So now we are going to use some of these shapes that we see in doing our art project. I'm so excited and I hope you guys follow me along to the next video. Again, during this time, WisconsinArt.org has lots of activities for you guys to do. Thank you so much for watching this first video and I hope to see you in the second. Thank you.